Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Bears. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here on the What a Juice channel, and welcome back to another Throwback Thursday edition of the Los Angeles Chargers Fantasy Draft Rebuild here on Madden 19. That is right, and we start off-season number 3. Hope you guys are excited. Let's get right into the video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. We got to make some changes to get this team in the Super Bowl. Let's do it. Okay, here we are. It is the off-season. We've got some players ready to negotiate. I think we talked about this in the last episode, how I think I probably want to bring back Eli Apple. We tried to bring some of these guys back, but it didn't really work. He likes the bonus and the duration, just not the salary for Big John Hankins. We don't have a ton of money to spend, so I don't want to spend too much money on these guys, but I do think that having John Hankins would be helpful. And he's going to come back for 3 more seasons. Okay. Ross Cockrell, I would like to bring back on a smaller contract. Nothing crazy. Because I think that we can build up our cornerback room a little bit later. And he's going to come back. Okay. And I do want to bring back... No, not Morris Claiborne. Eli Apple. I do want to try and bring back Eli. Maybe for the memes. And maybe because I do enjoy Eli Apple. $6 million over 2 seasons. He's coming back. Okay, so that's probably the only guys I'm going to bring back. Nobody else I really care about or want to bring back. So I think those are the only guys that we're going to offer to, and then we can simulate to the next week. I think I'm going to allow Curry Daniel to go into the 4th season as the starting quarterback. So, right, is the 4th season or is it the 3rd season? I can't remember. I can't remember. I think it's going into year 3. I don't know. But Curry Daniel, I think I'm going to let him be the starter. I really am. And we might have to work the playbook again. I don't know. We got a lot of things to do. We got a lot of things to do. We're going into free agency with $22.45 million. And we need to work on this offensive line. That is our top priority. Quarterback, we don't have to worry about. Running back, we're good with. Receivers, I mean, I could bring in a receiver if somebody's there. Maybe like a Dante Moncrief. Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton could be really, really good. I think I might offer Courtland Sutton. I think that could be a really, really awesome pickup for us. So if I lower this contract just a little bit, because nobody's really offering him anything. If I lower this contract a little bit, just to try and save some sort of money, we could maybe get Courtland Sutton for 73 points. I think that would be really cool. That would be awesome if we could get him. Tyler Higbee and Jonnu Smith, I think, are fine. George Kittle's here. He hasn't turned into the George Kittle that we know and love today. So maybe we could actually get him on a smaller contract. And it seems like I have lost the ability. There we go. Sometimes this controller goes in and out, so you guys know that. We've been through it before. All right, let's see if I can get him on a smaller contract. $7.5 million. Bring in George Kittle. He's probably not going to accept that. He's probably not going to accept that. But if I go $2 million salary, he might be more willing to sign that. So left tackle, I'm not going to sign. I'm sticking with Hobbs, at least for right now. Pete could go either way, but I don't think there's anybody better. So we go to center. There's not really anybody better at center. The offensive line class is not great here. We got Franklin Bacon, who is a normal development right guard. And maybe I could bring him in. He's a better overall than Ted Karras, so who knows what could happen there. If he doesn't sign, he doesn't sign. And then the offensive line and right tackle is not great. Left end is not amazing. The positions are not amazing. D tackle, I mean, we're bringing in John Hankins too, so we could have him be the right tackle. There's Dalvin Tomlinson. There's Noah Spence, Coney Ely. Man, the D-line class is just not really great. Kendall Beckwith. Outside linebacker is not amazing. Middle linebacker is not amazing. But we have our guys there. so it's not the biggest thing in the world. And then corner, we probably do need to bring in at least one corner from free agency. Vernon Hargreaves has nobody offering, so I will certainly offer Vernon Hargreaves a contract. I'm a big Vernon Hargreaves guy. I think he's really good, so we will certainly offer him a contract. Strong safety and free safety, I think that what we have is better than what's in free agency, so we're going to stick with that. Kicker and punter's fine. All right, so our negotiations are Courtland Sutton, Vernon Hargreaves, George Kittle, and Franklin Bacon. I think that we can get all of these guys. Oh, we're definitely going to get Courtland Sutton and Vernon Hargreaves. We offered them really good money. But George Kittle and Franklin Bacon, I don't know if they're going to accept. We'll go into free agency period 2 and see if how many of those guys accept and how many of those guys don't accept. Like I said, I would expect to get the first 2 guys, but I don't know about Kittle and Bacon. We get Sutton, we get Vernon Hargreaves, but it doesn't look like Kittle or Bacon have made a decision yet, so that's understandable. Is anybody going in on them? Nobody's gone in on them yet, so I think I might raise up their money just a little bit just to kind of entice them even more, because we still have a good amount of cap space left. It's not crazy, but if I entice them a little bit more with some more money, I think we should be good to go. If I bring that up to 1.5, there we go. Oh, he's got 90. He's definitely signing. So we got to get George Kittle to make a decision here. And if we bump it up to $3 million, that should make a decision. There we go. Okay, so they're going to make their decision after this week. We're definitely going to get those guys. Okay, so with the scouting, we are going to have a top pick, aren't we? We have pick 12 in the draft and then pick 29. So we have 2 first-round picks this year. We're going to have to make a decision. Do we want to trade up? Is there a guy that we need? Do we want to trade up to get Cedric Bromell? Or Bromell? I don't know how to pronounce your name. But do we want to trade up to get him? Do we want to trade up to get Lejon Whitaker? Or Legion Whitaker? I don't know how to say his name. A lot of weird names. Fisher Dinkins. Do we want to trade up to get this guy? Early first-round wide receiver, 6'3", 225 out of LSU. Could be really good for us. Or Zach Fisher, early first-round guy. He runs a 4.6 as a speed rusher. That could be really good. I'm actually going to put him on the board because that could be really, really solid for us. Lynn Morris also looks like a pretty good power rusher for us. Trayshawn Lancaster ran a 4.42. Ooh. All right. There's some good guys down the board here. There are some really good players down the board that we could certainly have our eye on. Keith Overton ran a 4.4. Okay. Zachary Good. Little interesting. What about Ronald Daniel? Could be something. I'm going to put both of them on the board just in case. Devontae Lang. There's some pretty fast corners in this class, which is good because we certainly need to take a look at corner. All right, what about these guards? Late first round guard. Wouldn't hurt to take a look at him. Preston Rudd. All the offensive linemen are on our board because you never know what's going to happen. You never know if we're going to need an offensive lineman or not. Andrew Montgomery could be interesting. All right, let's take a look at some more corners maybe. Have I gotten all the corners scouted? I have not. So let's take a look at some more corners because corner is certainly a need. It is definitely a need for us. All right, so there's a couple other corners here down the board a little bit that we could have our eye on. You never know. And let's simulate the next week and see if Kittle and Bacon decide to show up and sign for us. Once we get these guys, that should be the rest of free agency all done for us, especially because I want to keep that money. So Kittle and Bacon do accept their contracts. So we have 3 now really good tight ends. And I think George Kittle is going to be the starting tight end for us. And then Bacon will take over starting right guard. We have a good offensive line. It's just really, really inexperienced and young. And now adding Courtland Sutton to the wide receiver room with Antonio Brown, Mike Williams, Elgin Waller. Daniel's got some weapons. There's nothing holding Daniel back. Curry Daniel's got his weapons. We've got Cade again. What do we need to work on now? Because we brought in Vernon Hargreaves, so the cornerback room looks a little bit better. I don't really even know. Maybe a safety? And we just need to work on offensive line, I think. Offensive line's really a big need for us. So I don't think there's a reason to trade up in this draft. I don't see a need. The left tackles look pretty decent. The left guard looks good. Center's good. There's a couple good right guards. Maybe they'll be there. All right, so there's a couple guys down the board in the offensive line class that could be pretty solid for us. I don't know. This offseason's weird because I don't really know what we need to do except for like offensive line. I feel like this team is good. We obviously need maybe a safety or two. I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. I don't know. There's some really decent left tackles later in the draft, which is good for us because we could certainly take one if we do need one. And then get a center. Okay, so there's 3 really good centers in the first round. We have a center who is what's his name? It's Kozier, whoever we drafted. This is gonna be an interesting draft. This is really gonna be an interesting draft to figure out what we want to do. I don't think there's a reason to trade up, like I was saying. I don't think there's a reason to trade up and waste our capital for somebody that we don't really at a position we don't really need. So let's start the draft. We will pause it and we'll view the draft board. The Rams are up first. I don't know who's going to go number 1. Probably Bromell will go number 1 overall. But we have pick 12. We have pick 29. We have a lot of picks in this draft. A lot of picks. So we could trade around once we get a little bit later. Or we could take somebody on the board here. Because this is around the area. This is around the area where we're going to have. So if one of these guys is on the board, I might take him. Let's see how the draft unfolds. The Rams take the quarterback out of Tennessee, Jason Yoder, 79 overall with the first pick. Le'Jon Whitaker, 81 overall D tackle out of Texas, goes 2. Todd Crompton, wide receiver from Nebraska, goes 3. Keith Overton out of Florida goes to the Carolina Panthers. Then you got Fisher Dinkins to the Ravens, wide receiver. Ronald Daniel, center from Texas, goes to the Falcons. Wow, this is insane. Henry May, 81 overall. This is a really high class. Zachary Good to the Chiefs. Tate Carney to the Vikings. Tevin Compton to the Jaguars. And Lewis Cox to the Browns. So that number 1 overall pick, Bromell, is still on the board. I don't know if he's bad or if he's good or what. It says he's an early first-round talent. I'm very intrigued by him, but I'm also intrigued by Zach Fisher. I'm very intrigued by Zach Fisher as well. I don't know what's going to happen. Both of them I could see myself taking. I think that Bromell's better, but Zach Fisher's faster. So that's a thing. Plus, Fisher's a speed rusher, and Bromell's a run stopper. So that's the only thing that kind of concerns me. 6'5", 306. That could be a D tackle. Bromell could be a D tackle. Maybe we trade up to get Zach Fisher then to be like a speed rusher, and then we move Bromell to D tackle because he looks just as good as Lynn Morris. I think, stop it. What's going on here? I think that we take, nope, stop. Bad controller. Come on, figure it out. Okay. I think that we take Bromell with this pick, and then we try and trade up to get Zach Fisher. And then we get our D tackle and our pass rusher. Because I think this guy fits more as a D tackle. So I'm going to take Cedric Bromell. He's an 81 overall star development player. He's the number 1 true value player. And then you took him at 12. He fell to 12, and he's the number 1 true value. Okay, I'd take that. He's got star development. Whatever, dude. They passed up on him. 11 other teams passed up on him. But now is where we try to make a trade to get Zach Fisher. Although I don't think the Seahawks would take him. I'm going to take a risk. The Seahawks took him. I didn't think the Seahawks would take him. Okay, so we don't make a trade then. Man, I really didn't think the Seahawks would take him. I thought I'd be able to get like 1 pick or something. Okay, so I still can't believe we got the number 1 player in the class at number 12. That's crazy. What about this Jordan Sherman guy? There's a couple good offensive linemen still left. I don't know where I want to go with this next pick. Trayshawn Lancaster is really good. He's really fast. There are a few offensive linemen a little bit later down the board that we could go for. Deontay Timms is off the board. Vaughn Bradshaw goes off. I may have to move up if I want one of these three guys right here. Lynn Morris or Lancaster or something. I may have to move up. There goes Jordan Sherman. There goes Devontae Lang, corner from Ohio State. So these two guys are still on the board, Morris and Lancaster. Sanchez Lawson. There goes Lynn Morris. Okay, I feel like trading up to 24 to get Lancaster is a good idea. So let's do that. Let's trade up with whoever's on the board here. The Broncos are on the board. So let's go trade up with the Broncos to get pick 24. What do we have to give up to get pick 24? We're not moving down, or they're not moving down that much, so we shouldn't have to give up crazy amount. What about our 4th round pick? If we do that, the trade is declined, but that's okay because I can give them a 5th round pick as well. They decline that. I'll give them a 3rd round pick from next season. They should be okay with that. 3rd round pick from next season. That should get the job done, and it does. We move up to pick 24. We're going to take Lancaster with this pick, Trayshawn Lancaster. 1, because he's super fast. We're going to 4.42. I think he's going to be a good player for us. He is an 80 overall with quick development, ranked number 9 in true value. So we've got 2 top 10 players in the 1st round. He is 24 years old, which is a little bit concerning as a rookie. But hey, having him as an 80 overall, that's going to be awesome. So he's going to immediately come in and start. He's better than everybody that we have so far. Raphael Campbell actually was an 81. Okay. Interesting. We had an option to take Campbell. Martinez Harper. We have pick 12 in the 2nd round. I'm really glad that I was able to keep my picks, my 2nd round picks. Because what I might do is, I think we have 2 of them. So what I might do is trade one of them and then use one of them to draft somebody. Probably an offensive lineman, because we've got a D tackle and we've got a we're going to move him to D tackle. Brommel, we're going to move him to, I just think he fits better as a D tackle. So we're going to make him a D tackle. And now we are up. We are up, and we have 2 picks pretty close together. We're probably going to trade one. Andrew Montgomery's still on the board, so he could actually be our pass, although he's a power rusher too. Ooh, but I did like Andrew Montgomery when I was taking a look at him. I think I'm going to take Andrew Montgomery. I really liked him when I was looking at him. He is a 77 with normal, ranked number 26 in true value. I don't hate it. I think he's a really solid player for us. He's going to be a really solid player for us. I like that pick. I like that pick a lot. 77 overall is not bad. Normal development, it kind of hurts a little bit, but 77 overall is not bad at all. Now, this might be the pick that we trade. This might be the pick that we trade. We have our 3rd round pick, but then we don't go until the 5th round. So we might need to trade this pick to get something else. There's a couple good wide receivers. This tight end's 6'7", and he ran a 4.7 40. That's crazy. But let's go to our draft board. It's just a couple corners. Let's go to scouted and then go to all the offensive linemen. So there's a few left tackles here still available. Sean Roth could be decent. I think Wesley Leak is probably a little bit better than him. And he's in the 3rd round. And then also this guy looks pretty, Alan Walsh. Okay, so there's these 3 guys right here I'm going to have on the board because I think they're all pretty solid players. Then we've got this guy, Zachary Jensen, who could be a really good player for us. Morgan Minich could be something. I'll keep an eye on him. I will keep an eye on him. We don't have any more right guards scouted, and then I'll keep an eye on that guy. Okay, so we've got some offensive line options, but let's trade this pick. Try to get some assets back in return. What are we going to get back? 3rd and a 4th. We can get a 2nd round pick, move back a little bit from the Bengals. Or is that, no, that's, okay, that's this year. I was going to say, that is this year. We could get a 3rd round pick this year and next year. I wish somebody was offering me a 3rd and a 2nd and a 3rd. I think we should take... I don't know. I think we should take the second round pick from the Bengals, move back in the draft, and then reevaluate. Let's trade with them, the Bengals. We'll move back in the draft a little bit, and we'll see what happens. We move 10 spots down. We'll reevaluate. There goes Morgan Minich, one of the centers one of the guys I had on the board. We'll reevaluate at pick 26 and see what is there. All right, so here we are now. Am I going to have to make a trade, or not a trade, but make a decision here with the players on the board? I don't think that... I do think that one of these left tackles will be on the board. I don't think both of them will be. This dude's 6'8". That's crazy. I don't really want to try and spend this pick right now. I kind of want to trade back again. If I could get a pick this year and a pick next year like that from the Raiders would be good. I guess that from the Raiders is the best option. I think that's the best option. So we trade back. We get pick 18 in the 3rd round. I hope one of those tackles... There goes Alan Walsh. So already one of the tackles is gone. Sean Roth goes off the board. Another tackle goes off the board. All right, so my plan... There goes Wesley Leak. Is that all the left tackles that I had on the board? I really didn't think they'd go in the 2nd round. Okay, we got Carter Leno, I guess. I did like him. Wow, I didn't think that those guys would go, but I guess I should have known. So I should have taken one of the guys that I wanted. I saw him there. I should have taken him. I had the opportunity, but I traded back. It's okay. That's what happens sometimes. Things happen. Luckily, it looks like we're in a pretty good spot right now. There goes Darren Wooten. Deshaun Combs. A lot of good pass rushers in this class. A lot of high overalls. This is a really good class for like overalls. A lot of guys are really high overall players. All right, I'm going to take that left tackle. I'm going to take him. Carter Leno. I'm not going to miss my opportunity this time. I think he should be a good player for us. He's 76 overall, normal development. That's okay. 76 overall is a really good player. So Carter Leno comes to the team. And then we have pick 32. So we should be able to get another good offensive lineman. I think I'm going to take that one guard with this pick. I think that's going to be the idea. Duncan Parsons. A lot of good quarterbacks going off the board. All right, here we are. Let's see. Who's left? Zachary Jensen might be the guy, although I think I might be able to wait. Although I said that last time and he got taken right after I picked, so maybe we can't wait much longer. But there is this guy right here, Tywan Richardson, who is a 3rd round talent, left here in the 3rd round. Late 3rd rounder, I can't pass that up. I mean, he's 24 years old, 70. Okay, maybe I should have passed it up. He's a 72 overall. He's bad. That's a mistake. That is a mistake. But hey, man, I had to take it. I mean, a 3rd round talent. I had to take him in the 3rd round. Is that guard still here? I don't expect him to be. And I don't think he is. He's not. Great. I didn't think he was gonna be, but I had to check. All right, is there anybody else on the board that I have? My draft board is completely empty. I think this is just when we either take a flyer on a guy or we trade the pick. Let's take this guy, Harmon Roberson, excuse me. He's a little bit better than in terms of true value than the corner we just took. Whatever. It's not a big deal. I think we take the rest of these picks and we just trade them away, try to get some sort of value. The Saints are offering me a 4th round pick. Thank you very much. I appreciate your hard work and your dedication. We'll trade this pick away. And if we can get a 5th rounder, we can from the Bears. Thank you. Thank you, the Bears. And then we go to the 6th round again, and we have another pick to trade. Is anybody going to give me a 5th? A 4th from the Rams. Yes, sirree. Thank you. Thank you for that pick. I will certainly take that. And now we go to the 7th round, and this is our final pick. If we get a 5th out of this, No, we're just going to get... Okay. Oh, a Cowboy 6. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. All right, that's our last pick of the draft. I like what we did. Obviously, I wish we would have got more offensive linemen. I probably should have taken one when I had the chance instead of trading back. But hey, that's what happens, man. It's the NFL draft. That's what happens. But our top 2 picks were amazing. Getting the #1 overall player in the class at number 12 is insane. And then getting Trayshawn Lancaster, who's got 90 speed, 87 excel. He's number 9 in the class. So getting both of those guys is absolutely awesome. I definitely am going to make this guy a D tackle. I think he's going to be really good as a D tackle. Plus he has star development, so that's really cool. But this is a really good class in terms of like just high overall players. There was a lot of... Look at all these 81s. Whitaker. Then you got Crompton. I mean, there's Brommel. Look, all these 81s. There's so many 81s and a lot of 80 overalls too. We got 2 of them. I mean, this was a really good class. This is a really, really high overall class. I really wanted Zach Fisher. I really didn't think that he'd go right after me. Literally right after me from the Seahawks. I thought I'd have a little bit of time to trade up to get him. Maybe trade up to like the pick after the Seahawks or something. I don't know. But the Seahawks took him. We got our guy, though. We got Brommel. And I think going right off the bat, Leno's going to start at right tackle. Okay. I don't hate that. And then on defense, Brommel should go right in and start. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting because he fits as a D tackle, but we already have Jonathan Allen, so it kind of would hinder his development. Maybe I'll give him a season as a left end, and then as you can see, Lancaster starting at safety. I might give him a season at left end, see how he develops, see how he plays, and then next season move him to D tackle, have him and Jonathan Allen as D tackles, and then have Montgomery as the starting left end in the next. I think that might be how I do it. I think that's going to be the best option. But that is going to do it for the off-season episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. In the next one, next Thursday, we have the start of the new season. So I hope you guys are excited for that. If you are, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.